actually, did some work, and I guess the response or the energy that we received after people seeing the work. When I say we decked it out, we put six person jacuzzi inside of the basement. Okay, we had flat screens. It was like I was 24. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like it was the hangout, like a man cave, you guys called it nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I was 24, and just to have all the guys and to come through, and by me being from where I'm from, that was major to them. So he's like, man, Red don't even mess around. And, you know what I'm saying? And he got this and stuff like that. So seeing that, how that impact was and how it was, it was seemed easy to get the property. I wound up buying the property right down the block on the same block, and that's when I started to get addicted to it and started. I just after that it was just like okay,
just kept going.
Just kept going.
Okay. That's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? So, with you just with getting your properties and doing your thing, then you started having your kids. What made you put your kids into? Because there's so much. Amir, I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you, like, what that means to have a father in your life like that he's doing so many different things. He's opening up so many different doors for you to follow in his footsteps. Because there's so many things that young kids can get sidetracked by. A lot of negative things, especially you're 18 or 17. How old are you?
I'm 17.
17. Oh, my God, there's so much stuff.
Yeah,
How do you keep your focus on just following in your dad's footsteps, man? Just, what does he mean to you, what he's doing?
Well, that's something I thought about for like a long time in my life because, the way that he set, our family up, we were always, we weren't the average, like Joe or whatever, we never had we always had something that like the next guy didn't have, like whether it was him pulling up in like, his slingshot or whatever at school and all the kids going like, your dad's rich. And like, I'm swearing up and down that we're not rich and that we're just like, we're middle class. I used to like pull that card all the time. We're middle class. And, it like really put things into perspective because not everybody has access to things like these. And, when you ask me what it means to me that my father has opened up all these doors for me and like the people around me, it means everything. Like I can't even explain to you what like it really means because, it really shows what hard work, like the value of hard work. Like, he's worked hard all his life. Like there was never a moment in his life where he didn't work hard. And, that hard work has paid off. Like,
Of course. Well, first of all, the man said he had 3 snow cones on station.
3 snow cones.
So we know he was working hard as a shorty. So yeah, then he just instilled that in you, man, and that's and that's beautiful, man. And you got your boy here with you, Trey Yo.
Yes.
And he's rubbing off his values and stuff on him, man. This like how does that feel to be connected with this guy and the things that he's doing with all this positive energy that he's letting out on y'all?
Honestly, words can't explain, man. The things that I've experienced, I've been around his family since I was 12 years old. So I'm from a single parent home. My mother raised me, and this was Mr. Graham. And one of my other friends, his fathers, these were the closest things besides my uncles. I have 3 uncles as well. But besides that, these were the closest men I had in my life to being father figures. And seeing what he did with it for his family and what he gets up and works like hard for every day is something that it puts an inspiration in me that I can't necessarily put in words. So it means everything.
That's good shit. Wow. That's good shit there, man. Wow. That's good shit.
Red, I want to say congratulations to you, man. You had these 2 young men looking up to you, man, and it look like they are definitely on their way to being great. And I'm just sitting here, what's the first 15 minutes of the podcast? So much respect for you, definitely. Like I said, Putt was talking to me on the phone about you the other day. and just sitting here in the first 15 minutes, man, congratulations to
thank
you,
you.
man. Definitely, brother. I definitely want to say that to you. Stand up, dude.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But man, he do his thing, man.
Yeah.
You know. So and he has a his construction company is named after your brother.
Yeah,
right?
that's correct.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that, man. How you came up with the name, you know, with your brother. You know, how did you want to name your company after your brother, man?
Yeah, so all right, I'm always thinking. You know, I'm always got a lot of I mean, some people might call it borderline crazy because of that's how dedicated I am. So, you know, I know in life, right, you know, we get real busy, right? You can do so many different tasks, and you can feel like that maybe you forgot something. You know, it's like, damn, you know, I ain't really did nothing for my brother. Like, his birthday rolled around, you know what I'm saying? I ain't did a big party or nothing. It's my big brother, you know? So it's like, that start the way in on me, you know? As time progressed, I'm being successful. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm real big on people, right? I'm real big on my people, you know? So I don't mind being corrected. I don't mind, like, seeing things that needs to be done. And I'm very humble, okay? So I'll humble myself. Like, okay, dude, you got this, you got that, but, you know, it can be gone, too, you know what I'm saying? So it's like me sitting there like, man, I feel like that how can I do something to, you know, kind of in a sense force me to make sure I never forget about my brother. Not saying that I didn't forget, but at the end of the day, during the course of doing work, we all forget certain things, you know, and I'm guilty of it. You know, I can work, I'll forget some stuff like that. I'm like, man. So now I'm like, man, how can I do that? So my brother's name is Rufero. Okay, that's the name of my company. Rufero Remodeling and Maintenance. Okay. So I'm sitting there, I'm at the table at my mom's crib. We grew up on Douglas, North Londale. You know
West Side.
West Side. I'm gonna keep throwing it out there. And I got two older sisters. We're very like spiritual and emotional people. You know what I'm saying? And I sat there and I talked to them like, hey, I got this idea, and I ran exactly what I said to you guys. I kind of told to them. And I'm like, I'm going to start this company. Would y'all be behind me? Like, would y'all, you know, what do you think, you know? And then they looked at me like, go for it. You know, you should do that. This is nice, you know? So we sat there. We sat at the table at that moment. I everything on my notes. Everybody tell you, people that owe me money, I got my notes, you know what I'm saying? I put everything in here. This, you owe me this, and I keep track. Because I come up with some ideas, man. Sonny's like, yeah. Man, like, I'll come up with some ideas, right? But then I'll forget it. You follow me? You know what I'm saying? So I wrote it down. So I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. So I wrote everything down. I just pondered on it. And lo and behold, I came up with it. I went down. I got the, I went and got the LLC set up and got everything, and I work with a designer for the logo. When I do stuff, I do it. Like, I literally did everything, right? And this is what we at today, you know? Like, people today call me and were like, hey, is Rufero there? Rufero messes me up, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's like, but the intentions, right? I intentionally did that, and it's no way nobody's going to know who Rufero is. It's going to, trust me, it's going to keep going. And everyone, by the time I get done with it, or when they get done with it, everybody's going to know who he is. Name. And that was me in honor of my brother, you know, putting his name out there and attach it to something that I felt like was going to be extremely, extremely successful.
Love it.
That's good.
With starting a construction company, do a person needs to be good with their hands, actually know how to do the work, or can they just put it together and then just kind of find people to do the actual construction? So how does it go when actually building a company like that?
Well, I mean, obviously it's always good to know, you know, every aspect of any job that you're going to run. So, yeah, you want to be able to pick up a trade. You want to be able to say, hey, I can do this, because you got to identify when people telling you something that don't make no sense. You know, you can't not finna tell me you want to rewire this thing, you finna charge me $40,000, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta know certain things. So in a sense, if you're gonna start a construction company, or if you have aspirations of it, definitely do your homework and do your research and know something about the business. Okay. Do you need to do all the work? No, I don't do all the work, you know, but I do know I have the aptitude to know, hey, he's good at this. Okay, he's good at that. She good at this. And you tap into that. And as long as you know that, hey, this is what it should be, then it's kind of like you kind of put everything together at that point.
Okay, cool.
Just putting everything into perspective is what he do.
And then how did the kids are the kids involved in the company? How did they come along and get involved?
Yeah, so out of I got 5 boys.
Okay.
All right. 3 of the 5 is actively involved in the company. The other 2, younger. Okay, so I have 25-year-old. Okay.
Say their names. Tell them their names, man. Say their names.
I got 25-year-old. His name is Martez as well.
Okay.
Junior.
You call him Lil Tez.
Lil Tez, all right.
He a little different with the cameras and stuff. Okay, so he, we from that era, right? I mean, before I started doing stuff like this, from the hood, right? We don't do stuff like this. We too cool, right? Yeah. He still kind of, I had him young. I was 16 when I had him. Okay. So he's back from that hood era, okay? Right. So you got to follow where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I hear you.
So I try to get him through the little videos with me and stuff. Dad, I ain't on that. I ain't doing that. Right. So you don't really see him in the video, but I'm going to get him.
Okay.
You don't see him. Trust me, I'm working. I don't want to force them, right, to do anything. I want to be natural. I want them to want to do it,
Very important.
So he gonna want to do it eventually. Trust me.
Okay.
All right. So he's 25. Then I have Shamar. He's by my side He ain't here today because he's running the company right now. Okay. So we both couldn't come. One of us got to be there. Mm-hmm. So if it's something with the company, go through the company. Shamar, he's 22. Okay. And I put a lot. When I say I put a lot on him. Mm-hmm. He literally can. He responds. So he works, and you got Amir, obviously. He's 17.
Okay.
He's actually more of a brainiac. I don't know if y'all when you start listening to what he's saying and stuff, he don't
he's
like
very
I
articulate.
picked it up on him when he first started speaking.
So, yeah.
Listen, I rely on him for words. Okay. Like, my vocabulary is very, very limited. Yeah. He don't know that, though. I'll tell him that. I'm like, bro, I didn't think of that word. You know what I'm saying? And I'll call him a 17-year-old. He's good at that.
I love it.
So he's more behind the scenes. He good with stuff, with looking at contracts and making sure we straight, on the back end. He comes to the sites and stuff like that. So those are the 3 that's actually actively working with the company. Okay. So I do have a 14-year-old. Okay, that falls behind him, which is he's in the 8th grade, about to go to high school. So let him
let him do his life.
Hey,
let him have fun.
I ain't gonna tap into him just yet. You know what I'm saying? But he's coming along. And then I have a 1-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's a B2 in June.
Okay. Started over.
That's a long story behind it. We ain't gonna do that on the podcast, but yeah. So he's good. He's actually a fresh breath of life, Okay. So you see him.
Cool. Congratulations.
Trust me, I was like, man, I ain't doing this. I ain't starting over again. Yeah. I'm over with. Like, I got a 14-year-old. I'm done. Yeah. We finna travel. We finna do this. Yeah. Bam. Yeah. It was like, okay, all right. But then, I embraced it, right? Yeah. He's good. His name is Asher.
Okay.
Asher.
Glad he's here.
Yeah, he's happy. I come in. I just left him a little while ago. He keep me smiling and stuff like that. So I guess it somehow keeps my mind straight, stuff like that.
Okay.
But the 3, just to actually give or for them to have the opportunity to own something, the opportunity to build off of something, to me is major. Yes. We were just in Vegas, like about was a month ago?
Yeah. It was like the end of January, like 26.
Just to be out there, I had 4 of my boys with me. I had Lil Tez, Shamar, Amir, and Amon was the other one. I forgot his name, Amon. Okay, we were out. We were on the strip. We were kicking it just to sit back, and it was like a beautiful feeling. It was just like it was moving. Like, I'm like, wow, like to have all my boys and they all, They want to do right. I mean, they perfect? No one's perfect.
Right.
But to be able for them to have opportunity, to be able to not only lead and then also make a good living, be able to say, I leave this earth, they got something, to leave them with something. Like, my parents and stuff, we ain't had a lot. They gave me love, okay? They instilled what I got in me right now. But far as the monetary side, we never really had that. I said I was going to change that. You know, I said, this is something I'm gonna make sure it stops here. You know what I'm saying? That's why I work so. When I say I work hard, it's unbelievable. I don't even know how I do it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how to do it, but I just do it. I just do what got to be done. I get it done. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but other than that, yeah. So just to have them, to see them, to take it and receive it, and I'm not forcing them to do nothing. I don't even force him to say what he just said. I don't force Shamar to want to take over the company. Everything is genuine.
Right.
For me to put something out and they receive it, come on, man, how many father sons fights that you heard of? Or how many parents, they kids that did this to their parents, or their parents did this to their kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a messed up world out here. So basically to have them, like, take it, I'll sit back and I'll be looking like, wow, it's major.
Yeah.
You know, when I sit back and I see, and we do these calls, we got like conference calls we do every morning and every night. And then my sons are on the call. It's to the point where they're running the calls now. I don't got to get on the call. It's to sit back, they're running the show.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's major to me. You know,
Yeah.
to hear them
That
say what he
is.
just said,
That
it was
is.
touchy. I almost dropped the tip. I'm not finna lie to y'all. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see this. I'm just being.
Man, that
I'm
is awesome,
real.
man.
I'm a real
Yeah.
person.